Hi everyone, it's JVD back with another video, and I'm here with Captain Kyle from Captain Kyle's Cosplay Show. It's great actually fun to get a hold of you once more. And this is a little interview. I asked him if he can do it for me. He agreed. And we're going to talk a lot about the TV show, or the internet show I should say, and a lot about cosplay in general.
Sounds good. You are paying me, right?
No. We got that. We already had that signing under the...
I'm not getting paid much. It's buying me a a shake from Nifty 50s. That's about it. Yeah, that's my payment. I work cheap, very cheap.
No, most people just. It should also have.
Oh man, that was actually pretty good. Okay. Not many written down on the page here, but I'll try it anyway. So, cosplay is a big thing. For everyone out there that doesn't know what cosplay is, that's costume roleplay. It can be different things, such as, Star Trek, or anime. A lot of the time it's anime. He's actually demonstrating Star Trek right there. I've also seen, Star Wars, Pirates of the Caribbean.
This is my Han Solo jacket.
Han Solo, yeah.
I mix it up.
I like that, though. It's actually pretty good. I've also seen you do The Walking Dead as the governor. A lot of people have been doing that a lot because of Michael Rooker and everybody from Wizard World showing up.
Yeah.
First one though, when did you first start getting into cosplay?
I'd say it was like between 3 and 4 years ago. I'd seen a lot of friends who did cosplay. Tony and Rose Tusky, who run RetroCon. I actually watched them. They have some brilliant costumes. They have Transformer costumes that are really spot on. Looks like it's right from the cartoon. And I kind of, felt like I should do that, but that's a level I haven't quite gotten to as far as in the armor. Plus, it's very warm. But they definitely inspired me to start cosplaying. So actually what got me started as far as my first costume was Dr. Horrible's sing-along, because I think a lot of people who are geeks can relate to Dr. Horrible. So that was actually my first cosplay that I did, but it was more for like a friend's party. And then I put together Captain Hammer, because even though I'm not as obnoxious as Captain Hammer, at least I don't think so. Shut up, Constance. It's calling it right out. I like it. It's a fun character to do. So you can walk around and strut and be like, "Hey, citizen, you're very good. It's not as good as me." That kind of thing. So I like doing fun characters.
So we are actually, you pretty much covered the first two.
I'm sorry. I'm screwing up your question. People do that to me all the time on my show, so I understand.
That's really fun. So the third one, you actually answered who got you into it. You mentioned
Tony and Rose, yep.
I want to actually piggyback off what you said about Transformers. About 3 years ago, it was at World Philadelphia. Everyone was going to go to that one. There was somebody that did the costume, part of the costume contest. He was walking around the con as... Oh God! The new Soundwave.
Okay.
It was made entirely out of foam, styrofoam.
It might have been
as it's walking, you're just hearing squeak, squeak, squeak. I'm like, either that thing's gonna shred it by the end of the week, or dear God, somehow they're gonna keep that together. I'm surprised it stayed together.
I know Rose does Soundwave and she does Wheeljack, and I don't think she's put them on in a while. But it might have been Rose. I'm not sure if she worked at that con. It might have been another Soundwave, but her Soundwave is incredible. It just looks like it stepped off the pages or stepped off the screen. Yeah, I'll have to send you a picture. You can insert it into the video. Editing, it's a wonderful thing. So yeah, but Transformers is also, I've always been a fan of Transformers. Well, I couldn't be before they came out, but after 1984, I was a big Transformers fan. So.
Yeah, I love Transformers myself. Your favorite place to do a cosplay?
Well, generally at a con,
Any specific one?
Well, I love RetroCon, of course. Shout out to Tony and Rose. I also enjoy the Walker Stalkers, but they're different types of cons. You know, Walker Stalker Con, I get to be the governor. I get to walk around with one eye and threaten people and, you know, just look mean. I don't smile a lot as a governor. RetroCon, I do other things, but pretty much any con I enjoy cosplay. The ones that aren't as open to cosplay are a lot of the literary sci-fi cons. It's not that they aren't open; they're very accepting, but you like walk in and you don't see as much of it. People don't run up to you and like, "Can I have a picture?" I hear people whispering. I was Captain Hammer at LunaCon, and I hear people whispering, "That's Captain Hammer." But no one actually came up to me and said, "Hey, can I get a pic?" Or when I was the Doctor, I do the 11th Doctor. I'm not quite as skinny as him, but you know, Matt Smith. And people recognized who I was, but no one actually made a big deal out of it. So yeah, literary cons you can dress up, but you're not going to, if you like attention, and a lot of cosplayers do, you're not going to get it at a literary con quite so much, except during the masquerade.
Is there a certain Comic-Con that you consider your favorite, besides RetroCon?
Well, for me, cons have become more about the people. I mean, I do enjoy meeting celebrities, and I do enjoy panels, but for me, it's about the people. So, Walker Stalker Con has got to be one of my favorites because I have a great group of friends. We all get together. We hang out until all hours of the night. We don't get a lot of sleep. We're in great costumes, and you know, it's a lot of fun.
Do you and the rest of your friends for Walker Stalker Con, do you all dress up as the entire Walking Dead, or do you have some that play as characters from the show and as well as walkers?
Pretty much in our group, we're very accepting of anybody, so, but our core, I don't want to say core is if we're exclusive, but the ones that go to the most cons are basically characters from the show. Walkers are certainly welcome. We definitely need someone to kill, so, you know, if you want to join us and, you know, be abused, you know, some people are into that. You saw 50 Shades? No, you didn't. I hope not.
Ex-girlfriend actually dragged me to see that. Dear
sorry.
God.
I'm so sorry. Though I did do a short film called 50 Shades of Gov, which I suggest everyone watch.
I'll put that in the description.
It's actually myself as the governor, and my co-host, Constance, from the show, is actually playing the part of Maggie, and we're reenacting the interrogation scene.
Nice.
However we twist it at the end. So it's almost like a PSA. So kind
Public
of like,
service announcement.
Yes.
What's the favorite, the best cosplay you've ever seen anyone else besides yourself?
Oh, I mean, my cosplays, I do them accurately, but there are some incredible cosplays out there. I've seen Mechagodzilla. I've seen someone, they're in an armored Mechagodzilla. It's got wheels, it's got music. I've seen some incredible Iron Mans and other armored, it's incredible the work that's gone into that. I can't sew. I can make some props. I make my Captain America shields, but these huge armor things, they're incredible. Also, my friend Connie does, she's retiring her Cosmos, but she does some incredible robot cosplays. That's just full armor and, you know, looks so accurate. She's an incredible cosplayer, incredible costume maker. So there are so many people out there who make... That's why I'm the host. I'm not the guest on the show, generally, because there are so many awesome cosplayers out there.
That is definitely true. What's the least... This is actually probably one of the weirdest questions I've ever asked. What's the least favorite you've done or the hardest you've ever done?
I don't know that I have a least favorite. I have costumes that don't get recognized as much. I cosplay a Colonial Viper pilot from the original Battlestar Galactica, which is a great costume, but people constantly call me, are you a brown coat? You know, no, I'm not in Firefly. I get people who thought I was a weird space cop from the future. So... it's not as recognized, and there are some costumes that I have that aren't quite so recognized. But I wouldn't say there's a least favorite because I wear it for me. I've also gotten mistaken when I'm John Crank from Farscape, just with the vest, as the governor. Don't ask me. And I would say the warmest costume is Chewbacca. That one was...
You've done Chewbacca.
I've done Chewbacca. In fact, I was at Farpoint Con, and it was awesome because first of all, I walked out. You know, I went back to my room, changed into Chewbacca. I wear these platform shoes that add another 3-4 inches. I'm 6'2", but I'm now 7 foot tall. I'm not 7 feet tall like the actual actor. So I tried to get a little bit of extra
I
height.
think he was on stilts, I think.
I think he's pretty tall. He might have also had some shoes to make him even taller, but I'm not sure. Lucasfilm didn't hire me, but the reactions from people were great. A lot of people loved the costume that I was playing patty cake with a little girl. And there was a woman who I guess was really into hairy guys because she was all over me. But the best part, they had a masquerade, which me and my little Han Solo, which was actually a femme Han Solo, my friend Missy, also a good cosplayer, and the director of the series, and good videographer, and keeps me on track, yells at me a lot. But she was my Han, and because she's not as tall as me, it actually made sense. But we decided not to enter the masquerade. But while the judges they had the masquerade, and then the judges were deliberating, and they had this group called the Chromatics on stage. You've heard the song Hallelujah. Well, they were doing their own version, which was Han and Leia, and I just I'm dressed as Chewbacca. I put my head into the auditorium where they had the masquerade, and I hear them say something about a Wookiee. So I basically walk in, and there's like a back section and a front section. There's an aisle in between. I'm in the middle aisle. And I start walking in, and I'm looking up like, did they just say Wookiee? And the people behind me start going nuts. And the people in front are like, what's going on? And then the guy with the camera, they were videotaping, and they had it projected on the screen, actually focused over, and then everyone went nuts. One of the singers, who I guess was playing the part of Han, ran down from the stage, gave me a hug. It was awesome. People thought it was staged just because of the timing and everything, but it's like, no, that was just a happy accident. But that was, yeah. But again, a hard costume to wear. I wore it a couple hours. The people who wear them for like days, my hat is off to them. If I was wearing a hat, my hat would be off to them.
Oh, definitely. I want to get your thoughts. I don't have to say favorite con. I'll ask that before I ask if there was one. Favorite cosplay.
Con for cosplay? I don't know. So many of them are good. I mean, I've been to Awesome Con is an awesome con for that. I know it's a little bit of a.
No, I know. I understand that because I was at the AmazeCon down in the Clarion. It's a small little thing.
I was there.
Yeah, I did here in India.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much any con is good for cosplay, but RetroCon is very accepting of all kinds of different cosplayers. Of course, Wizard World, really at your big ones, your Wizard World cons, and they definitely like the cosplayers. I haven't been to New York Comic Con in years. When I went, this was before it got so big, and I was actually a guest because I was writing for a very small press comic book publisher. I have one story out, which I don't even know where you can get it. TC, if you're watching, send a comment or something. But I was there, and they had, their guest was Adam West. They didn't have this huge lineup. This was, before it became big. But now you go there, and, I mean, they love cosplay, but a lot of the weapons that people bring in as prop weapons ended up being tossed or not allowed, and I don't particularly. I would be very careful going to that con with anything weapon-like. So.
You mentioned New York Comic Con. That's the one thing you asked me. If you think when you were there, you said it wasn't that big.
Yeah, it was about comics. I know.
Surprise! Do you think that it would have transformed from what it was when you went to what it is now?
At the time, I had no thought that it would become ever that big. I think what had happened is that comic book stuff has become more mainstream. And also, and this may sound a little cynical, but a lot of the actors now realize, hey, I can make money going to cons. And so they go to cons, and it makes it bigger, it brings in a bigger crowd, and it just kind of feeds on each other. Cosplay has definitely grown because of these bigger cons. But what people don't realize about these actors, they're like, I gotta pay like $50 for an autograph from this guy. Actors are independent contractors. If they're in a series, great. They could die. Walking Dead happens all the time. There's another Game of Thrones. People die. And they may come back for a flashback, but they're basically out of a job once they die. So going to cons and seeing fans and doing this is their way of making additional money, putting it in the bank. They don't have a 9 to 5. You might be like, oh, I have to go to my day job and be there from 9 to 5 and get a paycheck, and I'm paying $50 for someone to sign an autograph. But that's kind of their slush fund, their rainy day fund for in between gigs. And they kind of, some of them I think are a little too high priced, but I do understand the whole, selling autographs and stuff like that. I don't know, some of them, I'm a Doctor Who fan. I skipped on Matt Smith because it was $100 for an autograph. That's a bit much for me.
Did you do David Tennant at all when he was?
I did do David Tennant because he's like one of my favorite doctors ever, and I was dressed as Jackson Lake from the next Doctor, the Christmas special, which he was like, "It's Jackson Lake." It was awesome, but so I did pay a bit more than I normally would, but there's only certain actors I would do that for.
Yeah. A lot of the time, Doctor Who's been huge. The new season is coming out within the next couple months.
Next month, September.
September.
Yep.
And speaking of September, I'll mention one event in a minute in September. As I ask the next question. But Doctor Who is huge. He's mentioned Matt Smith was there. So was Kieran Gillian. So was David Tennant 2 years ago. And
David Tennant was this past year. That's when I got my picture. Trust me, I have photos.
You're right, yeah. No, he's right. 2 years ago it was Matt Smith and Kieran Gillian. David Tennant was this past May. Have you been to more than one?
I have only been to the one in Philly. I mean, I wouldn't mind going to one elsewhere, but I haven't one of those day jobs. I'm not yet to the point where I can go to cons and actually, be paid to appear. One day, with your support, because I'm actually working on shooting episodes of my show at cons, which we'll probably talk about later. But yeah, I have a limited budget, and there's certain cons that I will travel for, and Wizard World
is definitely one.
Well, no, I haven't traveled to any of the other Wizard Worlds.
Well, Wizard World Philly is definitely.
Well, I live near Philly. It's not a big
deal. You live
in it's a town called Sharon Hill. It's not far from here. It's a train ride into the city. I can go to Wizard World Philly. I don't have to get a hotel room. Ones that I travel for are like the Walker Soccer Cons. I went to the one in San Francisco. I went to the one in Boston. I'm going to the one in Atlanta, Chicago. That one I travel around for. Wizard World I would, but I have to pick my cons. I'm not rich, but yeah, only Wizard World Philly have I been to as far as the Wizard World con.
And what are your thoughts about that one? That's the main one I've been to. I've not been to another con. I haven't been to Otakon. I've always wanted to go to that as well. But Wizard World Philly is my main go-to con. As everyone knows, once I start getting my Mickey 12, 20, 87 channel back up, guys, you're going to see a lot more of that within the next coming years and other anime reviews on that channel. I'll put that link in the description as well.
Wizard World Philadelphia, I enjoy going to that con. There are some people who dislike that particular con because it's expensive to get in. There are even some panels that you can't get into unless you're a VIP and stuff like that. I don't think that it's necessarily all on Wizard World. You also have to understand, I've put together just small events. There's insurance, there's all these additional costs people don't even think of when it's like, oh, well, you're going to a building. Well, yeah, they're renting the building, they're hiring security, they're getting insurance so they don't get sued. So there's a lot of costs that get involved in there. Plus, the more stars they have, the more they have to guarantee. If you want David Tennant to show up at your con, you negotiate with his agent, and they say, okay, David Tennant will come to your con if you guarantee that he makes X amount. And that X amount could be $100,000. So basically, the con has to say, all right, well, we need to make sure he sells enough autographs and photo ops to make up his $100,000. Because if he only makes 80, we got to give him 20 grand. So a lot of people also don't realize that part of the whole Wizard World thing. So I think it's a good con. I do wish they would go back to giving some of the tables out for like fan groups and stuff. I think that would be a good gesture on their part. But it is a business, which a lot of people don't realize. Whereas a con like RetroCon, Awesome Con, and it's run by fans who really enjoy everything. And, they're basically not looking to make millions of dollars, Wizard World has to answer to shareholders and,
Everything else.
and they have all these employees. RetroCon, great con, low-cost con.
Where is that located, by the way?
That's going to be in Oaks. It is September 12th and 13th. You're welcome, Tony and Rose, for your little shout-out. At the Oaks at the Philadelphia Convention Center. Right by Arnold's and everything.
Right near Arnold's and Sky Zone.
Yep, Sky Zone, and they have the movie theater there. And then there's a Target. I like to call it Target.
Yep, I called it Target before. Love it.
So, that's a great con. And again, they keep their costs low. They cover their things. They're not looking to make a huge profit. Wizard World, like I said, it's a business, and people get mad at Wizard World, but it's a business. They might be able to change some of the business decisions, but if it's going to become cheaper, they got to bring less guests in. And people are like, well, why are there less guests?
Yeah.
So
I can admit, I was definitely. I love the fact that it was last year. The line situation for some of the photo ops was a little bit of a jumble, but I understand that, so I'm like, okay, whatever. The next Wizard World, by the way, guys, is Pittsburgh. That's gonna be the 2nd, 3rd, 4th. I think 5th. I don't remember that weekend, but I know for a fact it's in there. And I know David Duchovny will be there as well.
okay,
one of the things I want to ask you, one of the people that was there the last couple cons for Wizard World was Stephen Amell. I love Arrow. I love the fact that he was also at SummerSlam for WWE, which was kind of funny. What are your thoughts on shows like that try to take from comic books like Arrow and you got
the TV shows,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all that?
I love them actually. I enjoy Arrow quite a bit. The Flash is awesome. If you haven't watched The Flash, watch The Flash. You're dead to me. You haven't watched The Flash. No. Watch The Flash. I have actually. I have high hopes for the new Supergirl one coming out. I think anything like that takes comic characters and portrays them in a faithful way. Like the Daredevil Netflix series.
Yeah, my friend had that. I was able to watch it. That was awesome.
That was incredible. And it was it took a lot from the comics. Now, the Daredevil movie, I don't necessarily blame Ben Affleck because he is an actor and they give him a script. I think the writers tried to make Daredevil more into a Batman and a little darker, and I don't think they understood the material as well as the people who put together the Netflix series.
Did you happen to see Fox with Gotham at all? And what did you think about that?
I love Gotham. I've actually, I got this great photo op with Robin Lord Taylor, where I gave him my gun as the governor, so it's like basically the governor and the Penguin team up. Would that be scary, or what?
That'd be awesome.
Great. Yeah, so he's there, and he's got the whole look. So he is one of the nicest guys I've ever met. He's just very genuine. He comes up to you and, and introduces himself. He doesn't oh, you should know who I am. No, he's a very nice guy. He was actually on The Walking Dead, if you know, Robin Lord Taylor. He had 2 appearances, brief, and he died, but he was actually on there as well. But I love Gotham. Yeah, all these shows I think are very well done.
Okay, let's turn from the Comic-Con side of things to the TV show, or the internet show.
Okay.
I'm a very big fan. I saw the past several episodes.
There's only 2 out, so...
That's what I mean, several can be 2 to 25. You have 3 and 4 on the editing done. You're going to put them out?
Yep. They're actually uploaded. Don't try to hack into my YouTube account, but they're not released yet. And 5 is in process. I actually already have number 8 done, because 8 was originally going to be 1, but then I moved around the schedule. So once I get through 5, 6, and 7, I can breathe a little bit because 8 is pretty much done. Though I'm changing out the cosplay with Constance part.
So it's called Captain Kyle's Cosplay Show. Right?
No, Captain Kyle's Cosplay Spotlight.
Spotlight. That's what it is. There is one on Facebook. I do have it on my phone. I actually have it liked. He does have it on his YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put that all in the description box. It basically takes people that love the cosplay and talks to them about what they like. And
actually, what's I think is unique about it is we bring a cosplayer. Say you showed up dressed as a Pokemon. We would interview that. I could speak. We would interview you as if you were actually the Pokemon master that you're dressed as. So we bring on the character, like we brought on Dr. Doom was our last episode. We brought on Dr. Doom and we interviewed him as if he's actually Dr. Doom. And that particular cosplayer played an awesome over-the-top villain, Dr. Doom. He's great. Adaz Baron. He's a great theatrical player. And so the first part of the interview was him. We're interviewing Dr. Doom. We asked him a few personal questions. And then the second part, we actually interviewed the cosplayer and talked to him about how do you put it together? What was your inspiration? What other cosplays do you do? What's your future plans? What do you do for a living? Because cosplayers are people. A lot of people see a cosplayer and they're like, oh, they're just, they associate them with a costume. Some people have negative opinions of cosplayers, but one of the goals of the show is to show that you can be a doctor, a lawyer, a forensic scientist. We had one of those on there. A retail manager. You could be a student. You could be a carpenter. Anyone in any part of life can actually also be a cosplayer. It's not... Cosplay is what you do, and you do it for fun. And lots of people have their hobbies that they do for fun. Cosplay is a great one, and I want to show that these are just people like you or I who dress up in costumes and like to go to cons.
See, that's why I have him explain the shows. I just throw a question out there because I know I want to be wrong, just so he can explain it better than I can.
And I like to babble and babble. I love the sound of my own voice. That's why I'm a talk show host.
Yes. Now, you mentioned Constance.
Mm-hmm.
She is
my co-host. Actually, I met her at RetroCon the first time, and we become great friends, and she was in my 50 Shades of Gov short.
Yep.
And she's a very talented actress and also a great cosplayer. And when I came up with this idea, I was like, it's a great concept, but I need something to break it up. People are going to get bored just watching me talk to somebody. We need somebody who's better looking than me, and would bring a different perspective to the show. So I talked to Constance about it. She was all for the idea, and she's been a great help. And she's actually one of my go-to people that I show the episodes to before they air, just in case there's any errors or anything that I did stupid. Not that I ever do anything stupid, but so yeah, she's been invaluable in helping promote the show, and yeah, she's a great co-host.
You said you treated a spot on the show called Cosplay.
Cosplay with Constance. For the first episode, we did young cosplayers. She interviewed cosplayers that were like 10, 11, sometimes younger. We'll have, and basically talk to them about their costuming experience, and kind of to meet those people who are probably in another 10 years going to be on the con floor, and people are going to be like going gaga over them and taking pictures. So that's a great fun one. The last episode we did was called the Captain's Quiz, where we asked trivia questions. It was a face-off between Wonder Woman and Batwoman. And but on trivia level, Constance wanted to have them battle to the death, but I did kind of tell her that it's a family show. We don't want anything to go wrong there. So it was trivia questions, and the answer to every question is the name of a captain. So kind of tie into the whole Captain's Kyle thing. So, and I have to say that Batwoman won, and spoilers, but watching it was a fun time. Then we also have con tips on the show, which sometimes it's just Constance, sometimes it's or Constance with a cosplayer, Constance with me for one of them that's coming up. And we just talk about things, if you're going to go to a con, things that you might want to be aware of. Like our last episode with Dune we did, I call it the Stranger Danger one, where you go to a con and you see someone, you have a Pokemon shirt on right now. So you go to a con, you see someone who also has a Pokemon shirt. And you're like, hey, we have something to talk about. And it's great. You can make friends that way. That's perfect. But don't be like running up to them and, hey, you have a Pokemon shirt. Let's be best friends. Let's go off to dark alleys together and back to your private hotel room. And I will drink anything you give me, even if it's, not in a can. Just don't be too enthusiastic, because just like every other aspect of society, you have good people and bad people. And there's a lot of good people out there. But all it takes is one or two bad people to make your con experience, and you run into them, really, really something that you may never recover from. So we try to give tips like that, be a little educational as well as entertaining. We have one coming up on prop weapons and using them responsibly, because we don't want people getting shot.
Keyword, that right there is the biggest keyword, responsible. A lot of people just go ahead and wield it around. Oh my gosh, hurt somebody.
Yeah, hurt somebody or point it at the wrong person. I have very realistic looking weapons. I have one that actually looks like, you could not tell it's not a real gun unless you really examined it and took it apart and examined it to the nth degree. And if I pointed that at a cop and he shot me, I would not be able to blame him, because it looks like I'm pointing an actual weapon at him. So, you definitely have to be responsible with your weapons. There's other things you have to be aware of when you're dealing with weapons, to not hurt other people, not get yourself hurt. But we just talked about prop guns in this one, but we'll be talking about some of the more bulky items that you could be carrying at cons too. Swords. You could put someone's eye out. And I have an eye patch, but I don't want to wear it, because I need to. Just for the costume.
Keeping as part of the costume. So you said it's on YouTube. Explain to everyone at home what the channel is that they can get on.
Okay, it's the Sci-Fi Geek Productions YouTube channel. So it's youtube.com/sci, S-C-I, Fi, F-I, Geek, I hope you can spell that, Productions. And that will bring you to the channel. We also just launched a new website. It's mostly done. There's a couple things that I have to tweak on it, but you can definitely find stuff. And it's called cosplayspotlight.com. Because Captain Kyle's cosplayspotlight.com is too much typing for anybody. I wouldn't want to do it. So cosplayspotlight.com. And you can see the episodes on there. They're linked directly to the YouTube site. And, there's a lot more episodes coming out, too.
You're having a lot of fun doing it, I'm telling you. Where do you shoot the episodes?
Well, we shot most of the episodes already as far as the interview parts. We will be doing a live taping at RetroCon on Sunday at 3 o'clock. I'm going to hunt down and find a cosplayer there, and basically do some quick on-the-spot auditions and see if I can find a good candidate to bring up on stage in front of hundreds of people and interview them as the character and then as the cosplayer. So we're going to actually do one there. But the majority of them are already shot. There's a great facility called Stage 1. It's the Performing Arts Center in Wallingford, Pennsylvania. And it's a former school. And they have great rooms for doing performances. They have a big 300-seat auditorium. So anyone out there who's involved in any local theater groups, or if you're doing your own shoots, they have very reasonable prices. You can come in and put on your play. You can schedule rehearsals there. You can just rent a small room and dress it up as an office or a hospital room or whatever you happen to need for your particular film. People come in there, dance groups come in there, and they rent space because they actually have an actual dance floor that you don't go in there with your shoes on. Unless they're dance shoes, and they dance on there. So it's a great facility, and I believe they are on Facebook. If you look up Performing Arts Center of Wallingford, and you can find them on there. They have a website which I don't recall. I'll send you the link later. You can put it up.
I'll definitely add it in.
But yeah, we did. We shot 16 episodes there over 3 Sundays. It was grueling. It was fun, but it was grueling. We did 5, then 6, then 5. And we had to turn off the air conditioner because it was done in July. But we had to turn off the air conditioner. There's bugs. I'm drawing flies. We had to turn off the air conditioner before we did each interview. And as soon as we stopped, it's like, turn on the air conditioner! Because it started to get pretty warm in there. We had a little studio audience. Hopefully when we do season 2, we'll have a larger studio audience. We might need a larger room than we used for this one. But we shot them back to back with breaks between each one. I had to be remade up once in a while, so I had a makeup artist. But that was where the majority of them are. We're actually still shooting some stuff, like trivia stuff and con tips and some young cosplayer interviews that we'll be doing at RetroCon, and we'll probably be doing some at Walker Stalker Philly. So there are more shooting that needs to be done, but the main interviews have been done.
Excellent. The biggest thing for me, I've seen the 2 episodes that are out right now. I've had a lot of fun with them. I love watching them. I'm a big YouTuber. You guys know I have this channel plus the Mickey 122087 anime channel coming up. But just also to throw back with what he's saying, a lot of things for cons are really, really awesome stuff. I've been a VIP last year, VIP 2 years back before that. Last year I kind of waited and screwed up myself, so my own fault. I'm hopefully going to be the VIP next year at Wizard World Philly. He's right though. A lot of things that he talked about with the Stranger Danger episode, which I can't wait. A lot of different other tips are going to come out there. I know you have a lot of them out there.
Well,
tips.
Yeah, and I also have a book called Elements of Cosplay, The Costume and Beyond, and it's designed more for the beginning cosplayer, though any cosplayer can get some stuff in there. But yeah, it basically talks about not just it doesn't teach you how to make costumes, because there are plenty of books on that, but it teaches you how to pick out a costume, talks about different ways of doing that, props, sources of those, but it also talks about the dangers of cons. You might have heard about cosplay is not consent. That is a big issue in the cosplay world. And that's kind of ties in with the Stranger Danger or creepers and stuff like that. So it does, and also things like wearing a big bulky costume that's warm in the summer. I've been to Dragon Con. The first time I went, I was dressing in my Jack Harkness wool coat in August in Atlanta. Not the best idea. You got to keep hydrated. If you're going to wear a warm costume, you need to be able to take breaks, keep hydrated, have someone there to keep an eye on you so you don't collapse. So there's a lot of tips in there for if you want to cosplay and the dangers to look out for. I mean, there's dangers in doing anything. You ride a bike, there's danger. You drive a car, there's danger. You walk down the street, there's danger. There's things that you have to know. But cosplay is all about fun. And that's what the book tells you, and it also tells you how to keep it from not being fun, which is important.
Are there any other tips besides that are non-cosplay? Because I know some tips, so I'll throw them out there. Like, always make sure that you have extra money in advance put aside. Always make sure you know how to plan out your experience. Any tips like that you would give to them out there?
Well, one of the con tips that we're going to be doing is preparing for lines. If anyone's been to like Dragon Con or Wizard World or some of the larger cons, some of those lines, you can be in line for an hour. So you might want to plan to get in line with a friend in case you need to go use the restroom, maybe make sure you have something to drink. So again, you're not standing there dying of thirst. Maybe you have something to do. Bring some cards, There are things at cons that people don't realize, that you can be waiting in line to see Norman Reedus for an hour and a half or 2 hours. And at some cons, the line goes outside, so you might want to have sunscreen. So there's lots of things like that is coming up. But I don't want to give too many con tips away. People won't have to watch the show then.
Yeah, that's not a good idea.
Watch our con tips.
Definitely watch them. I know for a fact that I will be watching a lot. The first 2 episodes are up. You guys know. It's cosplayspotlight.com or youtube.com/ Sci-Fi Geek Productions. You guys know that. I'll add them in the description box below. Pretty much, you've answered every question. You've thrown a lot more, which is excellent.
Yeah, you get me going. And
I've become a lot more proud that I've actually decided to do this. Because for a second I was like, what if I have nothing to say? But you actually helped me on the email a lot. RetroCon is coming in September.
Yep.
That would be
their website is retrocons with an s.com. I guess RetroCon is taken, and plus there have been multiple of them, so RetroCons makes sense. So retrocons.com, or you can search them on Facebook.
And they're going to be at the
at the Philadelphia Convention Center in Oaks, Pennsylvania. Right by the Maxidermers, which has some great tortilla soup. I should get endorsements from
And you should.
from Maxidermers.
You really should. Kyle, this has been one heck of an interview. I'm glad you came.
I'm glad I did too.
And again, he is one of the greatest I've seen on YouTube. I cannot lie about that. I have a lot of friends that do a lot of different things, from SGSN that I'm a part of to the
It'll make me blush.
That's not a bad thing. For everybody at home, like I said, I'll have everything in the description box below. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button for me and for him and for the entire plethora of things that I've done, as well as my other friends have done as well. It's been a blast. Also, like I said, check out Mickey122087. Chances are this will be going on that channel as well, my dual channel, and hopefully I'll have a lot more on the anime side of things coming up. Until see you guys next time, Kyle. Thank you for being a part of this, man.
My pleasure. Have fun and cosplay on. That's my thing.
Exactly. See you guys next time. Thanks.